Hello friends, this is our part 2 of this first scene of the fifth act, and I continue from line 101 where I had left in our last lecture. So you remember there was a beautiful scene where the Duke was very happy on Countess Olivia coming down, and he had praised her that she was walking on earth as if she was herself God. And in between that, now she is complaining, Olivia is complaining to Cesario for not keeping her promise, and Viola is greatly surprised, and the Duke says, "Gracious Olivia, what do you say, Cesario? Good Millard." But Olivia speaks to Cesario, who is a servant of the Duke, and in the Duke's presence she addresses Cesario as "Good Millard, Viola. My lord would speak, my duty hushes me." So that Viola says that her lord means the Duke would speak and her duty makes her silent. Viola, if it be aught to the old tune, Millard, it is as fat and fulsome to mine ear as howling after music. So the music to Olivia was her engagement to Sebastian, which Olivia thought that she was engaging with Cesario, and this howling is that again repeated requests by the Duke, the love proposals by the Duke to Olivia in which she was not interested. So it would be a howling after music, and this will be fat and fulsome, means gross and distasteful to the ear of Olivia. Duke, still so cruel. The Duke says, "Okay, still you are very cruel." And Olivia, "Still so constant, Millard." But Olivia says, "Yes, I am cruel, but I am still the same person. I have not changed my mind." Duke, "What to perverseness?" Means you are constant, but you are perverse, means you are not going in the right direction. You uncivil lady, uncivil means rude lady, to whose ingrate means ungrateful, and inauspicious means unwelcome altars to my soul's faithfulest offerings hath breathed out, to even devotion tendered. So what the Duke says is that simply that he has worshipped Olivia as a goddess in her altar means in her temple, and he has breathed out all his faithfulness from his breath, and he has offered his tenderness, softness and love for Olivia, and yet she is that much ungrateful, non-responsive. What shall I do? So the Duke asks, okay, what he should do in reaction to what to her non-response. Olivia, even what it please Millard, that shall become him. So Olivia says, okay, the same thing which you feel, I also feel. And so as I am behaving, you behave yourself. Duke, why should I not had I the heart to do it, like the Egyptian thief at point of death, kill what I love. So the Duke refers to story of a thief in Egypt, that he loved a woman who was in captivity of another gang of thieves, but he took her forcefully away. But when he was attacked and he thought that he would not be able to keep his beloved safe, he killed her. Although he did not kill her, but mistakenly for her he killed another. So he is referring, Duke is referring to that story in Egypt wherein a thief kills his beloved because he would not be able to have her. And so the Duke is suggesting that why should he not kill Olivia, because Olivia will not be his. So a savage jealousy, savage means uncontrollable jealousy that sometimes savours nobly, means this type of wild love, leaves a noble impression. But hear me this, since you to non-regardance to my cast my faith, that I partly know the instrument that screws me from my true place in your favour, leave you the marble-breasted tyrant. But this your minion, whom I know you love, and whom by heaven I swear I tender dearly, him I will tear out of that cruel eye, where he sits crowned in his master's spite. Come, boy, with me, my thoughts are ripe in mischief. I will sacrifice the lamb that I love, that I do love, to spite a raven's heart within a dove. So the Duke is very angry and he says that, okay, the Duke would not do any harm to Olivia, but he can know that the instrument that screws me, means that is forcing me, is this minion. So the hint is to Cesario, and he calls Olivia, says she is a tyrant, she is a dictator, and her heart is stone-hearted, but he is going to kill Cesario, whom the Duke also loved very much. But now, because Olivia is in love with Cesario, so he is going to tear Cesario from his legs to his eyes, and to hurt a raven's heart. Raven is black crow, but so here he refers to the black heart of Olivia, and who outwardly looked like an angel, like a dove, but she is a black-hearted, stone-hearted woman. So just to hurt Olivia, he is going to kill Cesario. Voila. And I must jocund, apt, and willingly. And Voila says, yes, I am very happy, and I am ready to die, to do you rest, means to give you peace and satisfaction. I am ready to die. 1,000 deaths would I die. So if I could die 1,000 times, I would be ready to sacrifice my life to give you satisfaction. Voila. Where goes Cesario? So Cesario goes after the Duke, and Olivia is in the impression that she has engaged to marry Cesario, and Cesario is going after the Duke. So Olivia is naturally nervous and she is asking a question, and Voila says, after him I love. Means I am going after the person I love. More than I love these eyes, more than my life, more than all more, than ever I shall love wife, if I do fain you witnesses above, punish my life for tainting my love. So this is very celebrated speech of Voila, and she says she is going after the Duke because she loves the Duke, and she loves him more than her eyes. She loves the Duke more than her life, and the Duke loves more than anything more in her life, and more than everything else in this world. She would love her, she would act his wife, and the gods above, they would punish her if she taints her love, if she cheats the Duke in her love. Olivia, ah me detested, means Olivia says, I am very hateful, how I am beguiled, how I was cheated. Voila, who does beguile you? Voila is questioning, who has cheated her? Who does you do wrong? Do you wrong? Means who has cheated you? Olivia, hast thou forgot thyself? Is it so long? call for thy holy father. So Olivia is asking question because Olivia had got engaged to Sebastian, and Olivia thinks that Voila is Sebastian. So she sends for an attendant to call the holy father to the minister who had solemnized the engagement between Olivia and Sebastian. Duke, to Voila, come away. Olivia, why there, Millard? Cesario, husband, stay. Duke, husband. So Olivia is also startled by this expression husband, because Voila addresses, because Voila is acting as a man. So they all know. Duke knows her to be a man, and Olivia knows her to be a man. And Voila says, when Olivia says husband, stay, then the Duke is startled. How come this Cesario has become husband of Olivia? Olivia, I husband, can it that deny her husband Sira? And then, Duke is very angry and very disrespectfully addresses Cesario, means Voila, and says, are you her husband? The Duke can't just imagine. Voila, no, Millard, not I. But Voila protests, and she says, no, I am not her husband. Olivia, alas, it is the baseness of thy fear that makes thee strangle thy propriety. Fear not, Cesario, take thy fortunes up. Be that thou knowest thou art, and then thou art as great as thou fearest. So Olivia is lending courage to Cesario and says, okay, I know that at the bottom you fear that if you tell your master that you are husband of Olivia, you are afraid of that. And so you suppress your individuality. But don't fear, Cesario. If you want to become victorious, then you tell him here that you are my husband, husband of Olivia, and you are as great as the one you fear. Means once you say that you love me, you are my husband, you are an equivalent to the Duke, and then you have no need to fear. In the meanwhile, the priest comes in between, and Olivia addresses to the priest, oh, welcome, father. And the father says, Olivia continues, Father, I charge thee by thy reverence here to unfold, though lately we intended to keep in darkness what occasion now reveals before its ripe, what thou dost know has newly passed between this youth and me. So, in very simple words, Olivia is asking the father, the priest, that okay, what new relationship has come between Olivia and this youth, means Cesario. The priest, a contract of eternal bond of love confirmed by mutual joinder of your hands. Means eternal means permanent bond of love. That type of contract means engagement ceremony was confirmed by their mutual joining, by the agreement of both these people, and I can approve it. And they kissed each other's lips, and then they had exchanged rings, and this ceremony was solemnized by that priest, sealed in my function, and the priest ratified it. He agreed with this in his official capacity as a priest by my testimony, means by my proof, since when by watch hath told me toward my grave I have travelled but 2 hours. So he says, and it was only 2 hours ago that I have solemnized this between them, this engagement between them. Duke, oh thou dissembling cub, the Duke says, to Cesario, O thou dissembling cub, what wilt thou be when time has showed a grizzle on thy case? Or will not else thy craft so quickly grow that thine own trip shall be thine overthrow? Farewell, and I take her, but direct thy feet where thou and I henceforth may never meet. So the Duke is very angry, and he calls Cesario that she is a cub who is cheating cub, and when had she planted, when she had planted, she had grown on her skin salt and pepper and hair like that, and now she had played a very cunning trick upon her. And so the Duke says, okay, but your own trick will be unsuccessful, and farewell, you take Olivia, but direct thy feet where thou and I henceforth never meet again. So the Duke asks Cesario to go to that place where never in life he should come in front of the Duke, otherwise the result is going to be dangerous. Voila, my lord, I do protest. But Voila says, I protest. Olivia, oh, do not swear. Hold little faith, though thou hast too much fear. And in the meanwhile, Olivia advises Cesario to not to swear and hold a little faith, although she is much in fear, or rather he is much in fear, but then he or she should keep faith in God. Enter Sir Andrew Aguecheek with his head broken. And now see the drama of Andrew Aguecheek and Sir Toby. Sir Andrew Aguecheek, for the love of God, a surgeon, send one presently to Sir Toby. So the head of Aguecheek is also broken, but now he says, immediately please send a surgeon to Sir Toby, Olivia. So Olivia inquires, what is the matter? And Sir Andrew says, he has broke my head across and has given Sir Toby a bloody coxcomb too. Coxcomb is the cap of a fool, but here it is a red, means full of blood stained, means his head has been blood stained and he has received very severe injuries. For the love of God, your help, I had rather than 40 pound were I were at home. So Sir Andrew says, okay, he was rather happier at home. Why had he come here in this city called Illyria? Olivia, who has done this, Sir Andrew? So Olivia asks Sir Andrew, who had, broken his head? Sir Andrew, the Count's gentleman, one Cesario, we took him for a coward, but he is the very devil incarnate. So Sir Andrew says, it is the mischief of Cesario, who is the Count's gentleman, and earlier they had taken him for a coward, but he is very devil, means he is very enterprising, he is very brave, and devil incarnate. There is no word in English which is incarnate, but he wants to say incarnate. He is devil incarnate, means he is the rebirth of the devil. Duke, my gentleman Cesario. So the Duke is again perplexed, surprised, and says, my gentleman Cesario, he is here. How could he beat them there? Sir Andrew, odds lifelong, means by God's little lives. This is a swearing word in English. Here he is. You broke my head for nothing, and that I did. I was set on to do it by Sir Toby. And now he says that person, naturally it must be Sebastian, because now they are blaming Cesario and Cesario is here. So naturally Cesario did not break their heads. So it must be Sebastian who had broken their heads, and Sebastian broke his head for nothing, means for no reason. And then look how he contradicts. Sir Andrew contradicts himself. I was set on to do it by Sir Toby. So because what I had done for which he beat me, I was asked by Sir Toby to do it. And so there was no fault of mine. So how he is, contradicting himself. He is taking his guilt and again saying that he has not done anything, because he had done whatever wrong he had done, it was done on the advice of Sir Toby. Voila, why do you speak to me? I never hurt you. Voila protests because she did not hurt them. You drew your sword upon me without cause, but I bespake you fair and hurt you not. So Voila is thinking of another brawl that they had tried to break with her. I mean, Sir Andrew and Sir Toby, and at that time Antonio had saved her. So Voila is saying that, okay, you wanted to quarrel with me, but then I was very nice to you and I did not do anything to hurt you. Sir Andrew, if a bloody coxcomb be hurt, you have hurt me. So she said, okay, you have turned my head red, and you say that you have not hurt me. I think you said nothing by a bloody coxcomb. Here comes Sir Toby halting, and look, Sir Toby is also limping, means he is not able to walk properly. So see how you have beaten us. Enters Sir Toby Belch, drunk, led by the clown, and the clown is taking because he is not able to walk. He is limping and he is also drunk. You shall hear more. But if he had not been in drunk, he would have tickled you other gate than he did. So Sir Andrew continues his speech and says, okay, if Sir Toby had not been drunk, then he might have given answer to Sebastian by his sword. Duke, how now, gentlemen, how is it with you? So the Duke asks Sir Toby, how is his health? So Sir Toby says, that is all one, means it doesn't make any difference. He has hurt me and there is the end on it. So sort means, sort has two meanings. One is fool and the other is drunk. So Sir Toby is both drunk and fool as well. Yes, sort. Didst see Dick surgeon sort. So he says, fools, please get me a surgeon, means a doctor. Clown. Oh, he's drunk, Sir Toby, an hour ago. His eyes were set at 8 in the morning. So the clown says that his eyes are they have become wet, and now I think he has started drinking at 8 in the morning, Sir Toby. Then he is a rogue, and Passy Major's Pavin, I had a drunken rogue. And the Sir Toby says, no, the surgeon dressed him with Passy Major's Pavin, means Pavin is a type of dance, and so with the slow steps of Pavin dance, the surgeon dressed him, means the surgeon took very long to dress him, and so he doesn't like the surgeon, he is a drunken rogue. Olivia, away with him, who hath made this havoc with them? So who has done this, havoc means this tragedy with these two people, Sir Andrew and Sir Toby. So please take them to a surgeon. Sir Andrew, I will help you walk, Sir Toby, because we will be dressed together. So both of the wounds of both of them will be dressed together. Sir Toby, will you help? An ass head and a coxcomb and a knave, thin-faced knave, a gull means fool. So he throws all these swearing words at Sir Andrew and says, will you help me? Olivia, get him to bed and let his hurt be looked to. So Olivia orders her servants to take after Sir Toby. Enter Sebastian. Sebastian, I am sorry, madam, I have hurt your kinsman. But, so I stop here. Sebastian enters, and you know that Olivia had got engaged to Sebastian. So what Sebastian says, we shall take up in the next lecture. Till then, goodbye, friends.